Revelation 1157. From the 3rd of November 1939. Constant fight against evil. Work of the Spirit and purpose. The enormous responsibility of earthly man towards his soul should make him strive tirelessly as long as he stays on earth. Instead, he shakes it off and does not pay attention to the decline of the soul, which is again unspeakably ruinous. The fight against the evil powers should be perpetual, and every slackening increases their will to attack, and therefore man has to fight harder and harder the more careless he is towards the enemy of his soul, while the latter's strength slackens the more resistance is offered to him. Desire for God and the abhorrence of all evil also weakens the adversary's power, and the soul escapes its fetters and seeks to approach the eternal Godhead. The greater the desire for the light is, the more the forces of the underworld avoid the earthly human. However, they take advantage of every weakness of the soul to influence with renewed power the being wanting to escape from them. And so constant caution is required. Man should only always think of his soul, which feels the state of negligence extraordinarily agonizingly, and therefore the human will must be active with increased strength to overcome the weaknesses of the body, so that the evil power does not get power over the human soul. All help from above will be granted if one asks for it, and so the earthly child is assured of all support, if his will consciously turns to the eternal divinity. In this certainty receive, the Spirit which works in you, hears the slightest movement towards the divine in you, and he is ready to follow every plea. He wants to dispel every doubt in you. He wants to give you certainty where you turn to him inquiringly. He wants to bring you light where you walk in darkness. He wants to introduce all knowledge you to and make the way you have to go on earth passable for you. And so his work in you has always only the purpose to mature you and to stimulate you to constant striving. He wants to make it possible for you to fulfill your given earthly task. And so you recognize from it again the infinite love of the Father, who wants to help his child to achieve what means highest bliss. He wants to give his child everything that eternity offers in terms of glories and therefore provides him with all means to reach this goal. If now the eternal divinity applies himself with such infinite love for his creatures, then it must also be understandable that man must likewise do something about it. That he must at least surrender his completely free will, in order to receive incomparably beautiful things in return. The Father only desires that the child would joyfully submit his will to the divine will and therefore declare willingness to strive upwards, and that all gifts are gratefully received, which serve the sole purpose of leading the child towards the Father, so that he can now introduce the child into his kingdom, so that the child will remain eternally united with him and all separation will be overcome. Amen.